So, okay, Lisa covered a bunch of stuff, mostly directing it to the ways that adults can best support teens. And you're here, and we really want to hear from you. So, just kind of putting you on the spot a little bit, what resonated with you most about what Lisa had to say? And we can just go ahead, Maliha, if you want to start.
Thank you for that question.
Is it on? Yeah? Okay.
I think the topic on social media probably resonated with me a lot and the COVID-19 pandemic. As a teenager and COVID arising my freshman year of high school, that was obviously really hard for me, as it may have been for all of you guys in this room. Even just on social media, that was kind of our one way to interact with one another. And due to the heavy access that young teens have to social media, it gives a perception that we are so close, but we do face feelings of isolation and reality of it. So I think with social media and the heavy use of it, just finding ways to be moderated with it and getting good sleep, because I find myself scrolling on TikTok a lot before a bed also, so.
Is this going to put you on the spot? Do you have technology in your bedroom?
Yes.
Yes. Thank you for your honesty. Maybe we can work on that. Sienna, do you want to weigh in?
Yeah, I would say how Dr. Damore shared the difference between teenagers now versus teenagers when our parents were teenagers. It's something that I feel like people don't really talk about enough. I understand that as a parent it would be so easy to share your experience as a teenager with your child, which, makes sense, but they're not comparable. It's something to share, but it's so hard to compare the two with social media and all of the pressures put on kids these days. It's something that, it's crazy, really. I think that was something really interesting to bring up that is not talked about enough at all.
Do you think, what are some of the stressors that either you can talk about your own stressors or what your peers really face? And you can go ahead, Santa, and then I'll get you, Malia.
I would say that, as Malia said, social media is a huge thing, constantly comparing your life to the people around you. It's so easy to see what other people are doing, and you internalize that and compare it to yourself, and you don't really realize that social media is just a highlight reel of everybody else's life. And another thing that's a stressor on kids, I feel like, is academics these days, and academic pressures, and the pressure to do so many extracurriculars that it's like you can't even have time to yourself. You have to be doing everything under the sun. It's almost as if good grades aren't good enough these days. You have to be doing so much more than your peers, and everybody just compares it to each other. It's a lot to be a teenager these days, I would say.
Do you agree, Maliha?
Yeah, I agree. And just another thing for me, even just curating authentic friendships, I think especially for people in me and Sienna's age group, I think also with social media and having such a tight-knit circle of followers and just that idea that we're closer, but even with COVID, the normal skills that you guys may have learned, just how to curate relationships or interact with people in person, we struggle with that. And it's not that we don't want to curate those relationships, it's that we don't really know how. And we weren't really given those skills to do that because we were stuck on social media and stuck isolated during the pandemic. So that's honestly one of the biggest challenges. But as the economy has opened up, I've kind of gotten more used to interacting with people.